Breaking news just came across the timeline. Javon Hargrave is done for the season. Most likely he has a partially torn triceps. And it's interesting, for those of you that have Twitter, maybe Instagram, I don't know if it went viral there, but there was a play that went viral of Javon Hargrave in the final drive of the Rams, or maybe it was the second to last drive of the Rams, where Matthew Stafford had the big bomb to Tutu Atwell. And on that play, Javon Hargrave seemingly bull rushes, puts both hands on the offensive lineman, and then stops and just backs up and stands there. And a lot of people were killing him for effort, which certainly at first glance, that's exactly what it was. But I watched that video multiple times, and I told Sunil today, before I caught a flight home, I said, I think he tore his tricep, because when you watch that play, he keeps shaking out his hand, his right arm. I assume it's on his right arm. I don't know for sure, but he kept shaking it out during the middle of the play. So what he does is he bull rushes, he puts both hands on the offensive lineman, then he leaves his left hand on, and his right hand he starts shaking out. That to me was a telltale sign that he'd torn bicep, tricep, something. And then it was reported after the game that he had a contusion, a bruise essentially of the tricep is what they thought. It wasn't serious, yet here we are. It looks like he's done for the season. So listen, Javon Hargrave is a player that came here. He's likely going to be gone at the end of this year. This will be his final year, I would imagine, with the 49ers. Way overpaid. I feel bad for him. You know, you never want to see a player get hurt, and you hate dogging on him when that happens. But the reality of the situation is he just never produced while he was here, and it was big money spent for him to be a difference maker. But what I will say is it's not like Javon Hargrave's bad. He just was overpaid for his production. He's still the best interior pass rusher that the 49ers have. And so now where do they go from here? Remember, Kalia Davis is going to be out for who knows how long, at least the first 4 games of the season. But if I remember correctly, his injury was going to carry him until, later in the season, what have you. So I don't know where they go from here. Do they make a trade? Do they just elevate somebody off the practice squad? But Javon Hargrave is not going to be easily replaceable. Again, the value that he brought for what he was making, probably not the best. But the reality of the situation, he still is the best interior pass rusher they had. And now that's a big loss. This is a team that's already struggling to generate pressure. And now you're going to tell me that they are going to generate more pressure by losing a Javon Hargrave? I don't see it that way. I think that this is a big blow. This is a big blow to a defense that is already struggling. So we'll see. Hopefully somebody can step up, but this is a loss. This is a loss for sure. And this season is very different than it was last season. When you really compare things, remember they were so healthy last year, and we kept talking about all offseason that they have to regress back to the mean. This is not necessarily going to be a season where they're extremely healthy. And they were starting the season out without Greenlaw, without Huff. Huff's now back. We'll see what Greenlaw looks like when he comes back. But all of the injuries that they have, it's been absolutely out of control. This is the first one that seems to be long-term, meaning season ending. This is the first one that seems to be season ending. So we'll see. Where do they go from here? This defense has to be better, and losing Javon Hargrave is not an excuse, but hopefully that means that everybody else on this defensive line plays a little bit harder and a little bit better to try to make up for that loss, and maybe them doing so will be a big, big difference in them playing better ultimately. We'll see how it plays out, but Javon Hargrave seems to be done for the season.